fucking with this?
Fucking with that. Oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
In your face,
They don't
say I'm
understand
coming,
it.
pick you up, leave them straight, let's come, pick 'em up, pick 'em up. No.
I'm a cop one, and you gon' rock that too. They go for 15, how you pay 22? Roll up, I just transform, lot of bands on.
I'm alright, you could get it right, check the platform. Nation business, I just speak the 50, tell me what's the ticket. Portray that image, acting like you with it, we pay him a billion.
Speaking on my name, dropping change, get you changed. Big body range, you know we're not the same.
Z06 got me retarded, supercharged in this bitch. They won't play me like a little boy, I stuck that hard in this bitch. Rewind the time, I'm in my prime, I went and flooded my wrist. Bitch ass little boy can't steal the style, we who started this shit.
Shackles made out of metal, behind the pressure plated glass. Put that metal on he who want a medal in my affairs. Bitch, I'm very important, I'm not no regular artist. I can't do too much talking, the cigar got me coughing.
Do you like a pair of lungs, all that smoke brain and coughing?
All my niggas TTG, we turn up train and go for real. Red one up in the machine, we really sell that coke for real. Any violation, we both know where we go from here.
You say your young and TTG, he trained to go. Well, my young in the BBG, and all he know is blow. This for Boozilla, we don't make him at the corner store. Say he lay low, but he got down, bitch, we know you tall. I'm a cop one, and you gon' run that too.
They go for 15, how you pay 22? Roll up, I just transform, lot of bands on.
I'm alright, you could get it right, check the platform. Never tell it, all of us are failing. Couple bitches step, preach like a reverend, brain don't make a living. Give his ass a blessing, come and catch it, living like I'm ready, call that 911.
Oh, black pedal, driving like a 911.
In your section, babe, I'm coming, pick you up, leave them stretch, let the car pick 'em up, pick 'em up. In your section, babe, I'm coming, pick you up, leave them stretch, let the car pick 'em up, pick 'em up. Cold-blooded steppers, standing on the block, smoking nicotine. Let them little boys run the city, I got bigger dreams. Nation business, we are different, stand for different things. Upright, independent, plus we feelers, that's by any means.
Count up.
I'm a cop one, and you gon' rock that too.
They go for 15, how you pay 22? Roll up, I just transform, lot of bands on.
I'm alright, you can get it right, check the platform. In your section, babe, I'm coming, pick you up, leave them stretch, let the car pick 'em up, pick 'em up. In your section, babe, I'm coming, pick you up, leave them stretch, let the car pick 'em up, pick 'em up.
So this morning I decided to go to Asbury into a little parking lot on Memorial Drive between Springwood and whatever the street next to it is. So I do go in there, I dance. It's mostly African American and Latin, so I have less chance of them calling the cops on me. And also I get to speak more because I feel like I'm more comfortable there. And if I'm in white neighborhoods, within 2 minutes I'm speaking, they're calling the cops on me, and then I got to explain myself. So I got a good 45 minutes before the cops actually came, and I don't think anybody called them. Even if they did call them, I don't think anybody really called them. I think they saw me doing it, and they all just decided to surround me. Because I started talking very loud. I'm just saying things that I need to say to people, about this world, this society being, basically providing a slave-like, economic system and monetary system and employment opportunities. It's not different. I tell you, it's not any different than slave labor. Honestly, it's not any different because with slaves, you had them, right, and then you paid for their food, right, and you paid for their clothing, and you paid for their housing, right. But in other words, you gave them all that for free, but then they were slaves to you, right? So, so the slave masters were able to rape them and their children. They were able to beat them and do whatever they wanted to do to them, right? So instead of that, right, now you have the other side of it. Slavery was abolished, but it wasn't really ever abolished. It was transferred over because when the slaves were walking away, the mayor of the town, whatever it was, the guy, because the South lost, but he walked up to the slave masters and said, hey, sorry about all this. You got to give up your slaves, but we lost the war. He goes, yeah, what are you gonna do? It's like, but you made a shitload of money on them. I said, yeah, I sure did. It's like, great. And what are you gonna do now? I said, well, I'm going to take this money. I'm going to make these corporations, right? I'm going to make these companies now, and these companies, and instead of having slave labor, what I do is I can now hire them, right? But all those places, but now, the food store, I own that, and all that, the housing over there that we were giving, I own that too. So now we're gonna pay them, right? Check it out, we're gonna pay them, right? But then we're gonna just charge them for the housing now, charge them for the food and clothing and everything else that I sell them. So I give them $1 and they give me back what, 85 cents? So that's the way. I there was a bunch of them that came back. I told them, I said, okay, we don't have a choice, because they don't have any choice. What are they gonna do? They're gonna walk out free in a country that they don't even belong in? So we got them. So I'm good. It's like I have all this money now that I made off this slave labor, and I can use it for corporations and companies that I then could hire these slaves for, and then we'll call them employees. Get it, guy? Oh, that's a brilliant idea, dude. That's great. All right. So I'm not going to be tried. No, you're not going to be tried for all the things that you did to those poor people. No, of course not. It's not like, it's not like, this ain't like, it's, yeah. So slavery was never abolished. We switched over, and then of course I said that this morning, and of course the other big one is that Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X are gone. They shot them, right? Who has been here since then that has replaced them? Anybody? Who have you gotten that has replaced them? Nobody. You know why? Because anybody that does, they end up shooting or throwing into a cage first. Get it? You don't have a Dr. Martin Luther King. You don't have a Malcolm X. You don't have anybody, right, that can do anything like they did, right? And the reason that they killed them is because they could have made the change happen, but they didn't. They stopped them. Right? And then anybody that might come up that seems like that, they'll just either put them in a fucking cage or fucking kill them. Okay? So why am I doing this right now? Because I feel obliged to the spirit and the soul of Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X to speak where nobody else has been speaking now. Talk about what nobody else is talking about. And that was back then, now is now. They had only a limited scope of what could happen. They were trying to bring in civil rights to their people, the African Americans that were enslaved. I'm trying to do it for the entire fucking planet that is enslaved by the fucking wealth class. Get it? So that's my that was my son. And then all of a sudden the cops came and they started asking me questions. Hey, what are you doing? I mean, you're making noise, you're cursing. It's like, no, I'm not cursing. Maybe music is, but I wasn't. I was just expressing an idea as an activist. I said, is there not freedom of speech? Yeah, well, I said, was this private? No, well, this is actually a public parking. Wait, so I could do it here? No, because you're disturbing the tents. All right, you know what? I'll leave, okay? I'll leave if you like. And the Asbury cops are usually okay. And they didn't. They started asking me, why are you so hyper? It's like, well, have you ever seen any interviews with Dr. Martin Luther King? Did you think he was hyper? And why was he hyper? And why was he hyper? Huh? Because he was on some kind of a drug? Or maybe he was hyper because he was pissed off at what you were doing to the people, his people. So he needed to express it in a very loud and sometimes misunderstood tone. That's what I'm doing. I'm not screaming, I said to the cop. Okay? I'm talking loud, as an activist should. And I'm saying the things that, as far as I know, I don't see anybody else saying. That what? That should be said. Repeated, understood, because you, if you're middle class and rich, step aside, please. You that is poor, you're one of the 7 billion poor. And you know what that rich class does? You know what a small group of people does to a very large group of slaves or people that they want to control? They divide them amongst race, amongst color, amongst nationality, amongst religion, amongst political parties, whatever they need to divide them by, divide them in whether they should wear masks or not, whether they got the COVID shot or not. Whatever you divide them on, they will become fighting, and if they're mixed in fighting with each other, they don't have time to look up and say, hey, what, that person, those people up there, do you think those people up there are doing this to us? Remember something. You are a human being. There's a God. There's a planet that we live on. A living organism that has allowed us to live on it. There's the sun. There are trees. Trees provide oxygen. Sun provides us light, knowledge. We're awake. I mean, without the sun, there would be no light, so you couldn't see anything, so we wouldn't be alive. These are the things that your creator, our creator, God, whatever have picture, a woman, a man, a big ball of energy at the center of the universe, whatever you want to call God, and whatever you believe God to be, it gave you everything on this planet for free. And this small group of people decide to take control of all that stuff, and instead of giving it to you for free as God, he, she, it intended, spirit intended, they took it, created this fake monetary system, this illusionary sense that this piece of fucking paper is worth more than human life, gave themselves a whole bunch of this paper and said, look, I am the king now, and it's controlling your fate. That's the modern day slavery that every human being has to face. And then the middle class is just the house slaves, and they're slaves too, but they're the house slaves, so they get to live a little bit better. And the wealth class are the slave masters that were never tried for their crimes. What happened to them? You got it. They became large business owners. Now, let's talk about small businesses. That's fine if you want to do that. I mean, businesses, but large business owners that control everything. They don't just control the company, but they control the food, the housing, the clothing, everything that the human being needs, right, to survive, and has to pay for by going out and earning a living. That's the falsehood that they get. You have to go out and earn a living. You God ever say that to you in the Bible? Oh, thou shalt go out and earn a living. No. Thou shalt praise the things that are giving you life. Like that tree. Like that tree. Like the sun. Like the sun. And like Mother Earth. That provides to all creatures of this planet for free. So you don't have to go out and earn a living. You just got to help create the society that asks you to work 4 hours a day. You can work 8, 10, 12, you can work as many hours as you want, but minimum 4 hours a day, just so that we can create these parks that we can all share equally without having to, profit, compete, and kill each other. Here's a gun. Here's a gun. There you go. All for money. That until you decide it's not, it's worth more than human life. And you know the only creatures on this planet that believe that money is worth more than human life is you, human race. Because there's no other race, there's nothing else in this whole universe that uses a monetary system to value the life that is born into this existence. Remember that. Please remember that, because unless you remember that and keep it in the forefront of your head, you're going to watch that TV, that boob tube tonight, and it's going to tell you something different. It's going to convince you to go out and go buy something and waste your fucking time, as they have been doing for thousands of years. And if you don't change it soon, Mother Earth is not going to want you on her anymore. Just like an unwanted tick on the body that decides to drill into your body to suck out the blood. After a while, you look at that tick and go like, oh, shit, I should have knocked that shit off a long time ago. Let me just do it now. Poof. Good afternoon. Oh yeah, and I wasn't arrested today. Thank you. Thank you, God. I don't know about them, but I love you.